Hi, good evening. Thank you for joining me. My name is Lisa Christina. I am a Reiki master, a tarot card reader, and a healer. And if you're joining me, I'm sure you're here so that we can hear what is going on for full moon tonight. Tonight is February 11th. We have full moon happening in Leo, which means that we have a lot of change happening. On full moon, we have endings. That's the theme of full moon. So we have closure, we have endings, we have change, we have shakeups. So today that we're going to be doing a full moon reading for each sign, I'm going to be doing a quick 3-card pull to kind of see what are the themes for the full moon for your particular sign. So thank you for joining me again. I'm going to start off with the sign of Aries. So Aries, for you, I'm going to pull an oracle card first. We'll kind of get a word or advice from universe for you, and then we'll pull 3 tarot cards and see what insight universe has for you. I use the word universe interchangeably with God. So if you hear me saying that again and again, that's what I mean. Okay. So Aries, for you, first card, your oracle card, it says luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. So even though we're at a full moon today and we have endings and change and shakeup and clarity happening for a lot of us, for Aries, it says new moon in Sagittarius. So you have new beginnings happening. With the ending that you have, universe is focusing more on the direction that you're being sent. So this card here, we have the bow and arrow of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is bow and arrow. I love the picture of it because when universe is going to be pointing you or sending you into a new direction, you are the arrow. Okay. I love that in the Bible, God calls him my arrows. The children are named arrows because these get shot forward into the future, right? And you may not exist there anymore, but your arrows, your children do. They live in the future, right? So the timeline or the bloodline continues to exist. So for Sagittarius, when universe is going to be sending you into a particular direction, the bow and arrow, you get pulled back and then aimed. And then God releases the bow and arrow and you get shot into that particular direction. In this situation, we do hear the advice saying that luck is on your side. So today is a great day for manifestation. Manifesting, what are you letting go of? What no longer serves you? What has already ran its course? And then on the flip side, what are you manifesting? What are you asking for? What are you asking to systematically show up in your life now, right? The example of the bow and arrow is that when you manifest something, you meditate on it, on what you want, and you send it out as a prayer into the future. And then as you're growing, right, you're going through lessons, the manifestation hits you. It shows up. It's because you meet it 50-50. That's what it is. So tonight's a great night for manifesting. If you haven't already, you put your crystals out, let them bathe in the moonlight. This is how they're going to charge up. If it's raining, of course, you want to only put your water safe crystals. I love making moon water. Just put a clear pitcher outside with the intention of making moon water that has a lot of great energy. I usually use that in my coffee and stuff like that. Okay, so let's see. Aries, 3 tarot cards for the theme of your full moon. First card we have 9 of Pentacles. So we have you in a place where you're feeling like you're self-sufficient. You know what it is that you want. You don't need anybody else to get it for you. You are more than capable. A lot of the things that you have or you're experiencing right now, Aries, have been things that you worked on really hard for a long time. And so you're getting to enjoy some of the reward that universe has sent you. The next card we have is the Star. We have you connecting with your higher self. This is you doing the manifestation work. This is you praying. This is you sending that up into the heavens. Right next to the 9 of Pentacles looks like that you're also connecting to universe about what's coming up next for you on the next phase of your life. And then the Hermit. Yep. We have you in deep contemplation. This is you spending time alone, speaking to universe, your higher self, God, about what it is what direction you're going to coming up in the next few months. 9 of Pentacles, the Star, and the Hermit. And then the very first card, luck is on your side. It literally looks like you are in planning mode or in brainstorming mode about what it is that you want, why, where, how, all the details is what I'm seeing come from you. The Star card and the Hermit card here, these are very interesting because we have her here connecting from her heart, right, to universe, and then here emanating that same light. Because when you connect to your higher self, you connect to God, you start to get answers of what's next for you. And you start to pick those things as they're coming. You know, this doesn't serve my purpose. Yes, this does. Allowing things to come in, allowing things to flow the way they should. I do see you in a place of more enlightenment, seeing things for how they truly are, seeing yourself and how you play the part of the main character in your life, and making room for the new blessing that's coming in. I see you more isolated right now too. Don't worry too much. Your cards that popped out, the first one and the last one are both 9s, 9 and 9. What does that mean? When we're at a 9, we're close to being done with something. So in this instance here for you, Aries, it looks like a lot of what's going on with you is transformative change. And you're almost, we're always a work in progress. So we're not almost done, but you are in a place where you're about to finish this big, huge cycle and level up. That's what I'm seeing for you. I hope that helped you. Okay, Aries, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be doing another one for new moon. I know I haven't been loading too many videos, but I'm sure you are aware. Life is very, very busy for most of us, but thank you for joining me. Okay, next reading is going to be for Taurus. Taurus, thank you for joining me. Let's start off by pulling a oracle card for you first. Let's see, universe, give me an oracle card for Taurus. Taurus, oracle card. Okay, your card is show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius, which, oh no, I was going to say, that's what we're having. But no, we're having a full moon in Leo. Now, this full moon in Aquarius is going to ask you, right, to be able to shift into who you really are. Show the world the real you. So a full moon is endings. That's what we have going on tonight. And it's in the sign on this card that just flew out for you is the sign of Aquarius, which is an air sign, which asks you to transform, to shift, to mold, to move yourself into a place that feels right for you. Because if we're in a full moon and we're in endings, the universe may ask you to shift out of somewhere to go into something new. So let's see. Okay, Taurus. Okay, universe, give me some cards for Taurus, so we can see what is the theme for Taurus for their full moon in Leo, February 2025. Okay, first card we have is Ace of Cups. That's a great card. Ace of Cups has an overflow of abundance, overflow of love. And this technically comes in because Spirit deposits something into you and it makes it overflow. Second card we have is the Eight of Wands. So we have a lot of communication, we have a lot of movement, we have a lot of advancement. And then the final card, King of Swords. We have you in a place where you have gone through transformative change. The King of Swords on the regular tarot cards sits on a throne that's made up of butterflies, right? But butterfly was a caterpillar before. So he goes through transformation. So much so that he's a king of that. He's a king. He's able to transform himself for his own good, however he needs to. Hence the swords. He'll cut things off that don't serve him anymore. So what do we see for you, Taurus? What do we see for your full moon? I do see we have you transforming self, willing to make changes, movement, to benefit your love life, to benefit the things that bring you great joy, whether this be your family, whether this be in relationship, whether this also be maybe you recognizing that maybe in order to transform truly, you need to disconnect from other people and spend more time just with yourself, to see which direction that you're going in. The Ace of Cups, it's the Holy Grail. It's the cup that's full of potential. And that's for you. If we're in full moon right now in Leo, and universe is telling you, you know what, I'm going to give you some clarity on yourself. I'm going to give you some answers that are going to ask you to take a hard look at self. I feel like in this instance, it's going to be so beneficial for you. It's going to be almost like a self-love reconnection. If you're also in a relationship, there could be some traveling. You and partner could be going somewhere. It is Valentine's weekend coming up. So there may be some travel. But if you are the type of Taurus who doesn't mind spending time alone, or you're barely learning how to do that, I would suggest try spending some time alone and connecting with universe here. I feel like there could be a lot of answers coming up for you in said meditation. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. Ace of Cups brings in an abundance of love, attention. There could be also a lot of travel, movement. So you're in a place right now where universe is asking you to shift, move, and kind of go with the flow and adapt. So I think that's to your best bet to see what it is that you truly want. Okay, Taurus? Thank you. Alrighty, moving on to our next sign. Our next sign is going to be Gemini. So Gemini, I'm going to pull out a oracle card for you, and we'll see what is kind of the theme for your reading. First card we have is adjustments are required. Yeah. Okay, so something in your life, universe is asking you to shift, adjust, make room for. So let's see, Gemini, this is for you. For full moon, February 11th and 12th, 2025, which is a full moon in Leo. So we're reading for Gemini. Gemini is going to be feeling this full moon pretty heavy. Let's take a look. Give me 3 cards for Gemini for the full moon in Leo. First card we have is 7 of Wands. I see you in a place where you stand up for yourself. I see you isolating yourself. I see you putting yourself in a place where you say, you know what, this is what benefits me. Second card we have is Justice. Yeah. I see you maybe also separating yourself from something that was causing you maybe some moral compromise. Maybe there was some back and forth here. And if you know what resonates with your soul best, what sits with you, what does not sit with you. The Justice card will ask you to pick a side. And then your final card, the Chariot. Yeah. So if you take a look at your cards here, Gemini, we've got Justice, Justice card. We've got two bowls, two faces, one right side up and one on the upside down. Then we have the Chariot, another symbol of duality. This is a symbol of duality. We have it here too. We've got the white horse and the pale horse. Okay. So we've got for you coming in some change that asks you to shift out of where you are right now and take yourself out of an equation if it doesn't sit right with you. Literally, you're the one who drives, you're the driving force of your own life, taking you into the direction which brings you joy and happiness. Now, even though you may be tethered or right in the middle of two different things, maybe two different energies pulling you in two different directions, Seven of Wands, I have you here choosing peace, choosing yourself. Seven of Wands also have you standing up for yourself. What resonates with you, what doesn't. And don't apologize for removing those things that no longer serve purpose. Justice and Chariot. So Gemini, if you've been waiting for an answer of something that's been coming along, you've been waiting for it a long time. It's been a long time coming, is what I'm trying to say here. We may be having some answers coming up as well, whether it be court case, whether it be something about money. Maybe you've been waiting for some kind of settlement or something coming in. You could be having that coming in for you too with this full moon. Now, the Seven of Wands here, she literally looks like she's sitting inside of a crystal ball. So you also have to ask yourself, Gemini, in which direction are you heading? Because if you're going to get in your car and you're going to head in a particular direction, you kind of need to know where you're really going. Because if not, then you're going aimlessly. So in this instance here, I also see that universe is asking you to look inside yourself and ask yourself what it is that you truly want, because you're going to have to make a decision to cut one off or cut something off that doesn't resonate with you anymore, doesn't resonate with where you're going. It won't make sense for you in the future. So if you need to start letting that go now, this is where you do a lot of self-reflection. Okay. Thank you, Gemini. Alrighty. Let's go on to Cancer. Cancer, we're going to pull an oracle card for you. And then we'll be pulling 3 tarot cards for the theme of your full moon in Leo, February 2025. So let's ask for a card for Leo. No, con permiso, for Cancer. We're pulling an oracle card for Cancer. Cancer. Okay. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Okay, so communication, and there's also 2 sides to every story. So when you communicate, Cancer, I know a lot of the times you want to look for the best possible outcome in everything, but there is 2 sides to the story, including your own. There's the side of you that you let out to enjoy the situation, to contemplate the situation, to make decisions. But then there's the shadow side of you. So that other side of you can also make choices. So it's important here, right, for communication. Look, 7 of Cups just popped out, is to be able to know what it is that you want. There's 2 sides of you. There's the side that you present and that everybody sees, and then there's your shadow side, the one that's still going through healing, the one that is still having to work through trauma, work through situations that nobody knows about, but that you hold on to. Now, the communication is key card that popped up here. This is also part of your healing. When you're able to talk with somebody, release that. Of course, it's great when it's another person, but communication can be journaling. Communication can be drawing. It can be all kinds of creative outlets that you let it out. Okay. The very first card of tarot that popped out for you is the Seven of Cups. So for your full moon, Cancer, we're seeing you having to make decisions that are going to have a shift in your future here. Hard decisions to choose. We got the Six of Wands, I'm so sorry. So we've got some victory for you, as well as Three of Wands. So Seven of Cups, Six of Wands, Three of Wands. We have you ultimately making decisions here, right? Choosing which direction you're going to go in that brings you victory, that gets you closer to where you really want to be, whether this be in your finances, whether this be in your relationship, whether this be in your health. Of course, it's different for all of us. I have you in two instances here contemplating what you're doing, what you're choosing, and which direction you're going into. And then victory. We have you succeeding or making the decision to go to what feels right for you to give you that most success. Communication is key. Make sure that if this has anything to do with a person who's in your life, right? Whether it be a parent, a child, or a partner, make sure you're able to communicate that with them. You don't want to be living your life one-sided and not share what those things are that you want to do, especially if it's going to shift your life, right? When you start asking for things that you want to manifest, you have to be prepared to make room for them in your life, right? Like, I can't try to manifest a pool and I don't have a backyard. That's just not going to happen. You get me? So if I'm trying to manifest a pool and I live in an apartment, universe can do everything that it has to so that I no longer live in those apartments, that I'm out on my own, that I'm in a place that has a backyard so that I can get my manifestation of a pool. That's how it works. So just be prepared that you know where you're going towards what it is that you're calling in, because room needs to be made for that. Okay, I hope that helped you. Okay, moving on to the next sign is Leo. Thank you, Leo, for joining me. Let's take a look what your oracle card is, advice from universe. Leo. Give me a card. Whoop, there it goes. A card for Leo. Oh, look. And you got the Leo card. Full moon in Leo. Hey, that's awesome. Okay, so today is full moon in Leo. Leo, you got the full moon in Leo card. It says, don't let pride get in your way. Okay, so when this card pops up, two things. You are, of course, your sign itself is very full of courage. It is a living example to most people. A Leo walks in the room, commands attention. They do things seemingly very bravely, but the Leo has very soft heart, and so they could do it with fear, but looking very, very strong. Not letting pride get in your way means also making sure that even though you're this very, very strong energy, and a lot of the times you can feel like you know what you're doing, there's also strength that comes in vulnerability. Being very open, being very vulnerable to people around you is awesome, because other people who are watching you and learning from you are also learning what it is to communicate areas of their life where they need help, they need advice. This is smart, because when you just try to keep showing people that you're tough, right? They have to think like, does this person not feel? Does this person not break down? Maybe I need to not do that. And we all know keeping things in is not a good idea. Okay. Alrighty. Give me 3 tarot cards for Leo. based on full moon, that's too many cards. Based on full moon in Leo for February 2025. What is the theme for Leos? Well, one of them turned here, Two of Cups. So we've got partnership, friendship, working together, equal energy. We've got Seven of Swords. You could have some sneaky stuff going on in a relationship. And then Justice. Ooh, yeah, that took a turn. Okay, so what do we have going on in Leo's full moon? We have the Justice card presenting here right next to the Seven of Swords. So there could be some lying, cheating, some low vibrational energy going on either in a partnership, whether it's a relationship, whether this is a friendship, whether this is a coworker, something like this, where both of you were putting energy into the same thing. Okay, so if that makes sense to you or if that resonates with you, then this is for you. If it's not, check your rising, check your moon sign. Now, in a relationship for you right now, Leo, we could have consequences based off of the kind of energies that were very low. Usually the Seven of Swords represents lying, cheating. There could be some backstabbing. There could be some betrayal that happened here. And the Justice card does present. So what does that mean for our full moon in Leo right now? We can get some clarity right now on what it is that we need to change, right? If the universe is telling you don't let pride get in your way, what part did you have to play in this? Right? What do you need to do to change this? Do you need to step away from this? Do you have to speak? Do you have to converse? Do you need to talk with this person or this other energy to let them know what you're truly feeling or what you've uncovered? Because Seven of Swords is here, and in this full moon, we have clarity. Clarity mostly of emotion. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I being made to feel like this? Or why am I triggered? This is going to be the theme of your reading, right? We could be getting a lot of clarity in the things that make us feel a certain kind of way. Justice card is here. We get answers, okay? So ultimately, we're going to be getting answers for either our own behavior or the behavior of the other energy around us. You know, this is let's say like this is a coworker who has been, I don't know, doing some sneaky stuff, and you communicate, you have this conversation, and things get resolved or talked about or brought to the surface. It could be a healing time for everybody in the picture. Okay. Alrighty. So next, going on to the next sign, we have Virgo. Thank you, Virgo, for joining me. Welcome. We're going to pull an oracle card for you first, which is going to be advice from universe. And then I'll pull 3 tarot cards for you to see what is the theme of the energy around the full moon for you. Okay. So this is for Virgo. A time to give rather than to take. And that new moon is in your sign, in Virgo. Okay, so a time to give rather than to take, right? So this can be in all instances. This can be in time. This can be in energy. This can be in love. This can be at work. So let's see what the tarot cards come out for you, and then we can see if we can put all of this together, okay? So this is for Virgo for full moon, February 2025. First card we have is the Page of Wands. Second card we have is the World. It's good energy. And then the Seven of Swords. Okay. So what is the theme of the reading for you right now, Virgo? I do feel like you're going to be finding out about some kind of shift of energy from somebody around you. This could be surprising to you. This could be something that's new. I feel like the full moon that's coming up this month is causing a lot of shakeups. And it's not just to shake things up, it's to wake people up. When you start to realize things how they really are versus how you've always seen them, you all of a sudden have new perspective, okay? The first card that came out for you is the Page of Wands. We have you observing a new path, opportunity, or something that opens up for you. And right next to that is the World. So we could have a new job showing up or job opportunity. We could have you looking to move. We could have you looking to maybe travel, right? But the Seven of Swords here at the very end of that, right, looks like you have to be very cautious in which direction you take, because even though it may present itself looking like all shiny and great, there could be some things in the background that are not being talked about, said, or exposed. So this is one of those things where the Page of Swords, Page of Wands, I'm sorry, is the first card that flew out. A page is an observer, not necessarily a doer. They are an observer of the world energy, an observer of this new timeline that opens. Seven of Swords, that there could be some real sneaky or shady shit going on there. So what you want to do is you want to be very diligent in paying attention to the energies around you, Virgo. Okay? This full moon has changes happening in your confidence, in your decisions, and your clarity in the emotions. So in this instance here for Virgo, right? Let's say something that you have tolerated for a long time. All of a sudden you see it in a different perspective, and now all of a sudden you're just like, this needs to change. This is you making the conscious decision which direction to take, what feels right, what doesn't feel right. And that might sound a little kooky to say, but for most of us that are on our ascension path, that are trying to learn from our mistakes and grow from them and be the best person that we could possibly be, when you are conscious of your emotion, when you are conscious of the things that are around you, how they make you feel, right? Not just how it presents itself, all of a sudden we have a leg up, because you're not just observing. Look at what just flew out, the devil. We're not just observing with what we see, we're observing with what we feel. Excuse me. So in your instance, Virgo, I would use that. I would use the gut feeling to let you know what is surfacing that needs your attention for this full moon. Okay? Thank you for joining me. Okay, next card, next sign that we're going to pull for is going to be Libra. So Libra, first card we're going to pull is an oracle card for you. We're going to get some advice from universe for you for this full moon and see what is up for you. We have super moon. Emotions are running really high. So yeah, you could be in a place right now where you're really feeling everything, like hyper feeling everything. Emotions running super high, right? You could be feeling a certain kind of way. You're ready to take action on something. This full moon in Leo has us seeing things very clearly. It has us getting more clarity on why we're feeling a certain emotion. So you're transmuting, you're processing these emotions. Let's see. First card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles. Second card we have is the Knight of Wands. And then your final card is the Fool. So in this instance here for you, Libra, what do we have coming up? We have you taking a chance on something that brings you a lot of excitement, brings you a lot of stability, makes you feel alive again. The Fool card here has you falling back trusting the experience, trusting the energy that's approaching you. Now you're in your power. Queen of Pentacles has you operating in your wisdom and knowing what works and what doesn't work for you. The Knight of Wands has you, this is your passion and your creativity. I see you finding something that very much resonates with the things that you would like to be doing in the future. Shifting, moving into this new energy, right? Taking a chance on that, taking an opportunity. Maybe you're going to take up some new kind of class. Maybe you're going to start doing some kind of new exercise or something like this. But I see you kind of, it's because I see you taking the opportunity to try it really, really and enjoying it. And then this shifts you into doing something new and bringing a lot of joy into your life. It's like my sister, she started doing this like hot works, something like that. She goes to exercise in this like heated room. And when she first started, it was just like, oh, I'm going to go. And now that she really, really likes it, she wakes up extra early on time so that she's like the first person there at 5 a.m. So she has literally made room in her life for this thing that she tried. And that's kind of like what I'm seeing for you, is that something's approaching. It resonates with you, with where you see yourself or where you want to be. And you're willing to shift things in your life to incorporate this. So you're doing actions behind the manifestation, which is great. You're drawing it into yourself. So exciting. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Next sign we have is Scorpio. So Scorpio, I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. We'll see what the theme is for your reading for full moon. And then we'll pull 3 tarot cards to see what is the energy around you for full moon, February 2025. Okay, Scorpio, first card that we got for you is full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. So you could be in a place right now where you know what you want. You know what you want and what you don't want. But what you don't have is an idea on how to get there. And that's okay. As things start to shift for you and universe brings these things more and more insight to you, this is when you start working on that plan. Now it says you need more of a practical plan. So something that fits within your budget and doesn't have you taking from Peter to pay to Tom. Or how does it go? You know what I mean. Okay, first card we have is the Hierophant. So I see you in a place of growth, right? I'm a Scorpio, so very happy to hear that. The Hierophant has us more alone. Spending more time alone, but for our own growth. Also, sometimes when you spend time with other energies that are not like yours, it can feel like their energy sucks out your good energy. The second card that we have is the Two of Swords. We could be in a place of feeling like we don't want to focus on what's at hand. And then the card right after that is Justice. I'm so sorry. Okay, the Hierophant, Two of Swords, and Justice. What is this looking like to me? It's looking like there's a clear path that you need to take, Scorpio, that you know that you're going to have to cut out certain things or certain people out of your life. And you're in avoidance. You're in avoidance right now. You have 2 different cards right next to each other. There's 2 crows there and 2 bulls there. You have decisions to make. And ultimately, it's going to be for your best and highest good. That is your growth. That is your steps to enlightenment. This is all that growth that you're wanting. You're going to have to make tough choices. Justice is here. So you're going to have to take a hard look at what part you play in your own stagnant energy or constantly having to start all over. I know, at least for me, I mean, I'm Scorpio energy, and that'll resonate with me, right? If I keep telling myself like, oh, I'm going to start a clean diet, and like on day 3, I'm like, I'm starving, this is what happens. I sabotage myself. And so then I have to start all over again. But if universe is asking me, I need you to be real clear and real honest with yourself, Lisa. What is it that you have to get rid of? I know what I have to get rid of. I just don't do it. And so for most of us Scorpios, we're going to be feeling this full moon like ultra hard. Why? Because if we're going to be getting a lot of clarity, imagine universe is taking off the blindfolds and letting you see it for the whole truth of what it is for whatever situation that you're in. It could be a hard thing to look at, especially if we know that we are the worst, like the worst enemy of ourselves. Like we are the common denominator. It's us. It's me, right? It's not fun to admit that. But when you get to a place of acceptance, and this might not resonate with every Scorpio, and that's okay. But if you're in a place of acceptance of what part you play in either your own growth or stagnancy, if you are honest with yourself with that, then I feel like you're one of those Scorpios who's just ready to constantly transform, constantly ready to have that death and rebirth, the way we always go through. We go through it so often, I feel like we get exhausted. Like, I'm done. I'm tired. I just don't want to go through this anymore. But we constantly go through this. So for universe to put us in a place where it's eye-opening and we get a lot of clarity and clarification, all kinds of things like this, I feel like that's a blessing, because we go through this so much we get numb. And to have a spark for something that we go through all the time, that in itself is a blessing, It's a new spark of life for us. So that is hopeful for us, Scorpio. Okay, thank you for joining me. Alrighty, on to the next sign. We're moving on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. Let's take a look. Sagittarius, you got a fiery climax approaches. So we could be coming to an end of something, especially with this full moon for you, Sagittarius. We have endings happening. We have you letting go of certain things or moving on for certain things. Whoop, we have the Magician card. This one flew out as I was shuffling. So you could be manifesting a new life. You could be manifesting moving on from something into the things that you so desire. That was too many cards, so I'm going to put them back in there. Okay. So let's see what else. I feel like this microphone is like right on me. Okay. Let's see here. Give me 2 more cards for Sagittarius, please, for this full moon. We have 5 of Wands. You're stuck in your head, and the 10 of Swords. Okay. So for Sagittarius, moving into a new energy for full moon, we have you literally manifesting this. We have you coming up with the whole timeline, the narrative for yourself. But the 5 of Wands shows me that you're in a place where you may be unsure of yourself. You may be lacking confidence. You could be thinking of all the things that could go wrong. And then we have the 10 of Swords. We have you in a place of anxiety, anxiousness, worry. Worried maybe that you're not going to be getting the manifestation that you're asking for, that there won't be answered prayer. Worried about what the future is going to look like, worried because you don't have an exact blueprint of what it's going to look like. And with this fiery climax approaching you, Sagittarius, right, it could start to feel very worrisome, because if you're used to having an itinerary, to your life on how things are going to go and what to expect, and universe throws you the unexpected, this could literally take you into a place of all kind of emotional turmoil, which would sound right about right. Why? Because this full moon gives us emotional clarity. Why do I feel the way I feel? Why am I feeling like this? Right? We could be feeling like anger. We know why we feel angry, but we got to go deeper than that. We got to go into the root and find it to be able to heal that. So for Sagittarius, I feel like this full moon, universe is taking you into a place where you may have to, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of fear. And that's okay. In the last full moon for Sagittarius, you were letting something go. So moving into a new place for you, it may be fearful because you don't have a plan. You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know what to expect. And that's the scary part. Doesn't mean where you're being put is scary. It just means that, right, you're a planner. You like to have things organized, and you may not that you may not, you're not going to be able to have that coming up real soon. And you'll just be asked to go with the flow. And it'll be an exciting time, but it can be a little scary. So just keep that in mind, okay? Get some rest, spend some time in nature, Sagittarius. As you're going through so many changes, just remember, like, there is nothing that universe is sending you that's not for your greatest good, okay? I hope your full moon goes really well and sending you lots of love, lots of light. I love you guys. Thank you. Okay, going on to the next sign, Capricorn. Capricorn, let's pull your oracle card. Let's see, an oracle card for Capricorn for February 2025. What is advice from universe for you? Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. So Taurus, the sign of Taurus is generally around what, like May? So if you're looking to have some kind of financial gain, things that you've invested in, maybe look towards the summer and see if you're having some, what's the word that I want to use? Some reward or some payout from some investments that you've done in the past, okay? Because that's coming up for you. Alrighty, so this is for Capricorn, 3 tarot cards for the theme of their full moon, February 2025. First card we have is the High Priestess. Nice. That's your intuition on point, listening to your gut, knowing what it is that what direction you're going into. The second one is the Six of Swords. Six of Swords has you literally moving away from an energy or moving away from some kind of drama into something a lot more peaceful. And then the Five of Swords. Yeah, it could be because you were also in a place of maybe some arguing back and forth. If you've been going through a lot of conflict, turmoil, things like this, Capricorn, where you maybe have been having like a lot of mental back and forth, I see you choosing to walk away from that energy and stay in your peace. Whatever it may be, it could be from work, it could be from a spouse or a partner, something like this. The Five of Swords has you in a place where you guys may have been going back and forth, arguing or trying to make the other person see your side. The Six of Swords has you like, you know what? I would rather walk away from this energy, from continually fighting or bickering. I'm going to move into a place of peace. Now, if you look at all these cards, they all have the same kind of color, a blue-green, right? So what does that look like? It looks like water, right? So we have universe literally transforming you. And as you're going through this transformative change, it feels like the water, right, is washing away a lot of the old version of you and how you would react to these things, the old self. Now that the High Priestess is here, you're starting to choose your peace over being right, your peace over having to argue your perspective. I see you maybe guarding more so that energy of yours, like knowing, like, you know what, I'm not going to argue with this person. I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to move on because it's not worth my time or my energy. Good for you, Capricorn. I hope that works out for you. I hope your full moon is gentle and easy on you. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next sign we have is Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, I'm going to pull a oracle card for you. It's going to be just general advice from universe for you for this full moon. And then we'll be pulling 3 tarot cards that are going to give us an idea of what kind of energy to expect for your full moon. Okay. And those energies for your full moon will be like tonight, tomorrow, the 11th and the 12th of February. And then it usually will kind of resonate for the next like 5, 6, 7 days. So it's not uncommon for you to feel the effects of the full moon for a good while. Okay. So a card for Aquarius, we have adjustments are required. So what changes are you going to have to be making, right? For February, March. Whoops. The first card that flew out while we were talking was the Hierophant. The Hierophant, I love that card. It has this person sitting alone, has them contemplating what brings them joy, what brings them closer to the highest version of themselves. Okay. Next card we have is the Tower. So the Tower is the crumbling of the old. Something being wiped off, starting over. And then the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, her energy right there is not only is she really quick to cut something off that doesn't serve her, but she contemplates this. Does this serve me, even if it makes me uncomfortable, so that I could leave it within my realm? Because it's going to benefit me. Even if she has to go through something hard, the Queen of Swords is able to put her emotion in check for the greater good. Okay, so the Queen of Swords right next to this Tower, that could be you causing the Tower moment, causing something to come crashing down because you're like, you know what? This doesn't benefit me. This doesn't get me to the highest version of myself, and it has to go. If you're there, if you're purging out the things that no longer serve you, if you're purging the things that are in your way, because if it doesn't serve you, it's just in your way. If you're moving those things out, I see amazing growth for you, Aquarius. I see you quickly shifting, changing, moving, and having victory. It does come with some hard work. It can come with what feels like a shakeup. It could feel like everything that you had worked for the last year or two feels like it's sidelined and you're starting something new. But all of that 1 to 2 years from all of that energy in the last 1 to 2 years was you getting sharpened, right? Iron sharpens iron. You getting tested by universe, you getting sharpened up so that as you shift into this new energy, that is experience that you bring with you that ultimately allows you to say, yes, this is for me. No, this isn't for me. Yes, this resonates. No, it doesn't. And you're quick in making these choices versus how you may have used to be, that it took you forever to know if this was even something that you wanted. Don't get discouraged, Aquarius. If it feels like you're kind of at a new beginning, it's not a waste of time. It's literally a new beginning, but you starting again with shitloads more of experience. This is going to make you very successful coming up in the near future. So I hope to see that for you, Aquarius. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Okay. Next sign is going to be Pisces. Okay. So Pisces, we're going to be pulling an oracle card for you for a general theme of your full moon or advice from universe. And then we'll be pulling 3 tarot cards for the energy surrounding the full moon in Leo for you. Okay. Okay. So let's get an oracle card for Pisces. A new romantic cycle begins. We have a new moon in Libra. So Libra, right? We have the scales. The scales have literally finally shifted so that you're in a place of balance. If it's a romantic cycle, now it could be quite literal. You could literally be meeting somebody new or starting something new in romance, which is very exciting. And if it is happening for you, I hope that it goes really well. Second thing can be that your heart is in a place now that it's healed so that it can open up to receive love in a new way. That being your new romantic cycle. How could you receive love when you were not healed? Now that you've been working on healing and healing, how will you respond now to love or kindness, help, things like this? Because when it was in the past version of you may have been guarded. And now you're going to be in a place where you're not so guarded. You're almost like willing, able, eager. That's the energy around you right now. High Priestess, the very first card, that's your intuition. This is your inner witchy self going with what you feel in the gut. The High Priestess here literally has her eyes closed. She doesn't see with her eyes. She's seeing what universe is showing her. And she goes through that with what she sees in her mind along with what she's feeling in her body. The next card after that is the Hermit. This is you spending a lot of time alone. This is you talking with God and universe. 6 of Swords. This is you moving away from energy that doesn't resonate with you. This is you moving away from drama. This is moving away from those kinds of like, what do they call them? Those people who are narcissistic, people who gaslight. That's the word I wanted to use. Gaslighting you. That they try to make it seem like it's your fault. This is you choosing to isolate, choosing to move away from that energy because you're in a new place where you see things how they truly are. And since the first card that flew out about the romance, you could be in a place now where you're starting to see this relationship never was for me. This relationship never poured into me. It was me who was being poured out. This was me being drained. And maybe you're having to move away from that for your full moon, choosing to move away, choosing to just, you know what, I would rather go towards something more peaceful than have to fight. For those of you who are not going through any kind of romantic shifts, I am seeing you in your mind's eye, knowing which direction you're going into and choosing to leave something in the past and move into a new direction. Now, the Hermit card is here receiving all of this information and downloads from God. And the 6 of Swords, when it comes time to shift into a new place, maybe you're leaving your job, maybe you're leaving your home, maybe you're leaving and moving into another energy, it could be bittersweet. It could feel sad and exciting at the same time. So just be on the lookout for that, Pisces. You know that universe is going to grow your heart by stretching it, right? Especially when we're real guarded, like, oh, I don't want to love another thing or person because I just always am being hurt. So you put your guard up. And then when universe asks you to move away from that, bring the guard down and be vulnerable, it can be very frightening. It can be very scary. But when you let yourself be vulnerable and guided by universe, you really do get to a place of blessing and joy and in balance, ultimately. Okay. Thank you for joining me, Pisces. I appreciate your coming to see me. Thank you so much. Okay. I want to thank all of you guys for taking the time to listen to your sign, listen to me blab. I very much appreciate your time and energy here with me. If it resonated, like the video, please share and subscribe or follow. I would much appreciate that. If you're interested in a private reading, I do those in person or via video chat. You can reach out to me, just message me. And if you're interested in Reiki session, healing, anything like this, reach out to me. We can discuss that. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Y'all have a great night.